So here I made a snack for today. These are basically saltine crackers with avocado in between. And this is a Japanese dessert that's, I think, made from acorns. We had it in Korea too, but in both cases I've forgotten the name. I don't usually do this. I usually eat out when I'm out and about. I have some classes today. Not enough to speak of in order to call oneself a teacher, but I have a few classes like that, or one a day. On Wednesday I have 3 for an agency that I'm now working for. And I just had this thought as I was standing here in my little kitchen, my dilapidated but gratefully had kitchen in Tokyo, that there was a time in Korea where I once made Kimbap for a then girlfriend in a yogwan. A yogwan is a room that is about a quarter of the size of my apartment. It basically would be from the front wall of my foyer to the inside wall of this kitchen. It's basically a 10 by 10 with a little corridor entrance and an airplane-sized bathroom with a tiny half bath and shower. There were times when I visited Japan from Korea wishing I could live here, and it was like a fantasy, and now I do, and it's been almost nothing but hard times since I got here. Some people might say, well, didn't you know it was going to be expensive? It's not that. You've probably heard me talk enough about what it is and what it was and what it has been, and I'm not going to get into that now. But it was just interesting to have the thought just now of what I used to think things would be like, what I used to do, what I now do. What's funny is the amount of counter space that I have here next to the sink is about the size of half of the vanity that's in a yogwan. A yogwan is basically an inn in Korea from the old days, and they've gone through different iterations so that they can be fancy. But the basic ones were these tiny rooms where people would go and sleep off a night out drinking, or they could be a place for a romantic interlude, right? They're not exactly love hotels, but they've often been thought of as that. And I lived in one for a while when I first got to Korea. And I just thought what a labor of love that was to try to make kimbap on a little vanity space next to my bedroll on the floor for my then girlfriend, and how simple and rustic that was, and how simple this is. It used to be kind of a dream that I would live in Japan, one of my dreams. And now I do, but I'm still climbing up that hill, right? And it was just a weird confluence of feelings over a span of almost 20 years. I started out in Korea in 1996. I moved in with my friend Adam Hoffman, Ed Kim, and Steve from England, and we shared a place, or I shared with them, or they let me stay basically on the couch. And then after I got a couple of jobs, I moved out to an inn, which you don't do. But, I didn't have anybody to tell me it won't look good to be living in an inn, which is probably why my first private student family there, the Pan family, at Imgwang Apartments in Nowon-gu, tried to get me an apartment. And I was an idiot for saying no, because it would have been down the boulevard from their house where I was teaching their kids a couple of times a week. And that would have made it easier to get other students. The apartment was in Hagedong. And I was coming all the way from Chongno, but I turned down the offer because I wanted to be near my girlfriend. Living in an inn for $50 more a month than I am supposed to be paying now. I say supposed to because a lot of times I haven't been able to make rent, but my landlord is a very kind professor who accepts my IOUs, and I have a feeling he wouldn't even care if I ever paid him back. When I pay him for a month, he's very happy. It's a very old place, and it's probably better that he has somebody in here, keeping it from becoming overgrown, infested, moldy, and collapsing. But I do plan to pay him everything back one day. But you never know how your life's going to struggle or how you're going to struggle in your life until you get there. Yeah, that's it. I got to get going. I like to leave 2 hours early. Have a nice day.